let the hustle speak.
Keep it rap food, keep it rap food.
No rush, no skips, no ego trips.
Keep it rap food, keep it rap food.
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 All right, everyone. Welcome to another live video behind the X's and O's. We're doing a double header today. We had one earlier this morning, and then we got another special guest, Mr. Tyler Lackey with Key City Digital. Thank you for joining us, sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our podcast. How's your day going so far?
Great. Been busy today, staying busy.
Yeah, you're bouncing around from two cities now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Springtown now, and so a lot of my clients are in Abilene, and we have to
Yep.
film for them and check in and stuff like that. So I think last month I was in Abilene like 4 times. So
Wow.
yeah, but it's only a 2-hour drive, and I've been going back and forth to Dallas my whole life, so
Right,
kind of
right.
used to it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So, yeah, so I guess we'll just get right into this, man. I know you from, you just been a recent customer, and we
Mm-hmm.
kind of talk back and forth on social media, and of course I follow all your pages and everything like that, and I try to interact. But, tell me a little bit about yourself. Besides the business. I mean, you can include the business, but
Yeah,
tell me a little bit about yourself. And maybe
yeah.
maybe the audience who might be tuning in.
Yeah, so basically about me, I'm a family guy, first off, and I believe in God. So I put God first, family second, business third. I have a beautiful wife and 3 children, Lakin, Cashton, and Eden. One of them's Lakin's 4, Cashton's 3, and then Eden is 1 years old. So
Hmm.
it's a lot of work, definitely trying to balance everything at home.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever I sent you the message and I said, what did you want to talk about? You were talking about work-life balance and,
Yeah.
kind of keeping balance, when you got a family and stuff like that. And just, one of the things that really stood in my mind is your faith in God. And
Hmm.
and it's something that, I wanted to just kind of let you know, like from my standpoint, that I admire you holding on to your faith in light of what you have had to go through just in the time that I've known you.
Sure. Well, I
Uh,
really appreciate that.
because a lot of people will say that they believe in God and that they stand on His promises, and it's like, I'm gonna
Hmm.
trust Him in the middle of a storm, but then
Right.
the storms of life come, right?
Hmm.
Just the storms of life come, and that's whenever you find out whether or not you meant what you said, and
Yeah.
or if you were just talking, just talking.
A
And
hundred
and
percent.
man, I've seen you, and when I say see, I just the post that you were posting and stuff like that, and my heart went out to you, man. I don't know, what I would have did if I'd had to go through what you had to go through, and we don't have to go into detail. I just want to let you know that I admire your faith.
Yes,
I
sir.
admire you holding on to your faith and still being able to, um, to not just hold your head up, but still trust in God.
Yeah.
Uh, can you talk a little bit about that? About uh, how you were able to still trust in God in the
Hmm.
middle of, I don't know. Like for me, it's kind of like what that'd be kind of like a thing was like, man, you let me down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if
Right.
I could just be real honest, I'm a follower of Christ and everything. I believe in God, and I've never had to go through that. But
Yeah.
how did you, like, what did you draw from? How did you dig deep to be able to just hold on to and still trust God in light of what you went through?
Yeah. Well, I really think you hit it right on the nail. And I'll kind of break it down for you. About, I think I felt like it was a test, like, because I don't know if you know a little background on me. I was like an influencer on TikTok for a little bit. I had hundreds of thousands of followers,
Hmm.
just kind of spreading the word and preaching on there. Eventually, I got shadow banned. But I've also been in tragedies before with my brother passing away about 10 years ago. So, I kind of learned just to trust on Jesus during that hard time, right? And learn that Jesus is really our only hope at the end of the day. Life is short, nothing, all the business, all the money, nothing really matters besides that because you can't take it with you.
Right.
But yeah, so and just so everybody can know kind of what happened with my story is my wife was pregnant with twins and her water broke really early at about 21 weeks. She was in the hospital holding them in for about 2.5 weeks, and the babies came um, right on the edge of viability. So usually they don't even give them a chance if they're not up to 24 weeks. They were born at 23 weeks and 6 days. Um, and yeah, just going back to me thinking it was all just a test, it's like you talk this talk, are you gonna walk the walk? Because you don't at that point we don't know if the babies are gonna survive. We don't know if
Yeah.
they're gonna be mentally sick or physically sick, what type of issues they would have. And so, it's like I'm gonna have the faith and just trust in God no matter what the plan is. It's kind of what went through my head. And Halo passed away after 8 days, unfortunately, but Eden, she's totally fine. No, if you look at the stats and everything that could have been wrong with her, she's perfectly healthy baby, and really like a miracle. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, praise God for, for Eden, and my heart goes out to you, man, for the baby that you lost, and for Halo. You said Halo.
Yep.
And
Yes, sir.
we were praying for you along the way, and it's like I wanted to make it a point to let you know that I was praying because a lot of times people say I'll pray for you, and then
Yeah.
they don't really pray for you,
Right.
and
Right.
but I wanted to make sure that you knew that I was praying for and praying for you, and for what it's worth, because like, man, I was the main thing that really impacted me, man, is that you went through something that no one should ever have to go through. And I know you say, that God was testing you, or you felt like you were being tested. And
Mhm.
I just want to say that in my eyes, you passed with flying colors. And I think a lot of people in the community, they feel the same way, man. You got a strong faith, and if there's a purpose behind this, I'm sure that God's going to reveal it to you, and a lot of people are going to be impacted by your testimony.
Well,
Uh,
I really appreciate that
one
a
of
lot.
one of the motivations of this podcast is, I call it telling stories, right? But being a man of faith, that we're saved, by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, right? And so, if people like you hold that in and don't share what you've gone through and what God has brought you through and how He's carried you, in the times where you needed to be carried. There may be someone out there going through what you went through or about to, and
Yeah.
and, and will be lost, right?
Right.
But something happens whenever I know for me, if I know someone else has been through it, it encourages me to know that I can do it too. To know that someone has walked through whatever valley that I'm getting ready to go through, something about just knowing that it helps me to get back up whenever I'm down.
Right.
And
Yep.
man, what you went through, I mean, I hope I never go through that, but I'm just saying, I've seen you do it, and I know that if I'm going through something like that, um, I mean, I know I haven't known you that long, man, but you'd be one of the first people that I'm going to call and say, hey,
Sure.
man, like, pray for me because I'm going through something, and I've never been through it, but I know that you've been through it, and
Yes, sir.
so make sure you keep my phone on my phone number on your on your speed dial. Which, by the way, how do you have me on your phone, man? Because I was talking about that. I don't know. When I first got started, I said, I bet you to a lot of people I'm the sign guy or the business
No,
card.
I have you as Ruben. That's your
Okay.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We sometimes, whenever we we've been in business long enough, you get kind of known for that
Right.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I actually had a call to someone that we were doing a sign for, and we went to go pick up a check. And I called and I said, you know, hey, this is Ruben with Red Alpha, and it's like, how can I help you? And I was like, I said, well, I mean, I'm calling you back. You know, we sent you the invoice and quote and stuff like that. And he's like, did I buy something from you? Like, he didn't remember me. And I was like, I said, I'm the sign guy. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, all right. And so, you
Yeah.
know, I
No,
was
I've
like,
had that happen to me too. Like, hey, it's the digital marketer. Like,
yeah, there you go. There
like,
you
yeah,
go.
yeah, okay, my bad.
Getting typecast, which is cool, but
Yeah.
another part of the behind the X's and O's is really to try to get to know the people behind the business,
Yeah.
and because there's a lot of stories that go on that maybe we don't put on social media.
Right.
There's conversations that we have with each other, with God,
Hmm.
that your customer may not ever hear. Uh,
Right.
but every time that I talk to business, I can't tell you, and this kind of encouraged me to do this, is that whenever people will pick up their whatever it is, their order,
Hmm.
and we'll sit there and we'll talk for a couple of minutes, and we'll just be like, man, how's things going? And then I just lend an ear, and then they're just kind of letting me know what's going on and everything, and it gives me an opportunity to minister to them,
Right.
let them know that that they're going to be all right,
Yeah.
and offer whatever type of support I can, and so those conversations, I mean, there's hundreds of them that I've had, that
Hmm.
no one would ever know, because it was just one on one behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and so it just kind of like little by little was just kind of, I guess, like laying down the foundation for something like this. Uh,
Right.
and thankfully, I don't really have any high expectations. Like, I don't have
Yeah.
any goals to hit, or
Right.
I'm not trying to reach a certain amount of followers or none of that stuff, man. I'm just
Mhm.
trying to have some real conversations with people, and just kind of let it do what it's
Yeah.
gonna.
Right.
Yeah,
Grow on its own. Are you
yeah,
posting it on YouTube, and what
yeah,
platforms is everything
yeah,
going
yeah.
on?
So right now we're broadcasting live to our Facebook page and our YouTube
Oh,
page.
cool.
And then after that, I'll edit the video, and then I'll chop it up and send it to all our social media channels. Um,
Nice.
I use a program called Opus Clip, and
Yeah.
uh, and
I've
so
used
it just kind of like just chops it up into 100 different videos, and I just hit
Yeah.
send, and it's like it looks like I'm posting 100 times a
Right.
day.
Yeah.
And
And it gives you that grade, right? Like which one's the most likely to go viral and all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, and the AI that's connected to it, it'll write the caption and the description. I'm
Hmm.
like, man, this is easy. Let me do this,
Right.
because you could do more of it, right?
Exactly.
And so, like, to finish that, I'm trying to connect my TikTok, but I got to get more users, or I don't
Mm.
know, something, because it says I need a stream key to do it, and I
Mhm.
haven't figured that out. But for now, we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, and then after that, I'll kind of edit the audio and maybe add some captions or whatever, some graphics, and then I
Nice.
do have a website for that I call Red Alpha Studios, and
Nice.
so I host the episodes on that too. But
Awesome. Awesome. Do you put it on your blog on your website?
yeah, yeah. So not on the blog. Like, these videos don't go on the blog, but the blog kind of feeds the behind the X's and O's. And then,
Nice.
so anytime that I post this, I'll do like a call to action to go to that, and
Right.
then and I try to connect them on there. But the only thing on my actual website is the behind the X's and O's blog.
Mm.
And then this one right here is actually almost like a separate website, that's not
Okay.
connected to
So
my
you
main
just kind
website.
of, do you like link it in the blog, or what do you
Hmm.
just, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
I'll link it, and then I also have a connection page, which, like I was talking to you before, we use High Level, and
Hmm.
so one of the sites, I use it as a connection page where I got all my social medias, and then it's kind of like a link tree landing page,
Mm.
where I'll have all the different links to whatever, and
Oh, cool.
things like that.
Cool.
So yeah,
Yeah,
my
I was
link.
wondering because one thing that might will will help you out for sure, actually, on your SEO, since you're like interviewing business owners and stuff. If you put, what I would do is ask them to maybe share the video on their website if they have a blog, and then add a link to your website in it, and do vice versa on yours. And then
Yeah.
Google's gonna pick that up because they're seeing like all these local companies working together, and it just builds a more authority and shows that you're legit. So I would totally start doing that.
Yeah.
And if
Okay.
you want,
Hey,
you can
Tyler.
send me.
Hey, Tyler, I'm gonna send you a link to put on your
Yeah.
website.
No, I will for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Heck yeah, man. That's I'm all for that. I didn't know about that. There's a nice little business tip for anybody that's listening. Tyler Lackey is the SEO and the website guru. Nominated, like, I mean, you got awards or something like that, man. I mean, you guys came up really quick, and
Yeah, we really hit the market at the kind of like in this AI boom, and there wasn't really much of there's a few people that have been here for a while, but not a lot of people, and nobody that I really thought was, doing it the right way.
yeah,
And yeah, it kind of just took off, but there's a lot more people kind of popping up in Abilene now,
yeah.
more agencies and stuff, but yeah, it's been a blessing for sure.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit, man. I mean, I guess it's kind of the elephant in the room, or the whatever, the 600-pound gorilla, however they call it, right? I see a lot of mixed emotions out there on social media about AI.
Yeah,
And I've never been the type of person that is afraid of technology.
right,
I'm old enough to have seen technology at its primitive to where it's at now. And
right.
even in music, in business, and things like that, I've just seen a lot of the things come, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, man, it's like, we need to jump on this, because if we don't
Mhm.
jump on this, we're going to be going extinct.
Yeah.
And there's some things that I feel like that, and AI is one of them. AI is one of the things
Mhm.
where it's like, I do understand, where some people, they have their negative feelings about it. But for me as a business, it just makes complete sense to, incorporate as
Right.
much AI technology as I can, so
Mhm.
that I can focus on just, growing the business.
Right.
It's not, AI doesn't do the stuff that I necessarily want to do. It's
Mhm.
helping me do the things that just take time.
Yep.
The stuff that I can automate, and
Right.
the blog posts and the social media posts, and you know um, you know figuring out which clip is going to go viral, those things like that. I mean, I'd be lost without it.
Right.
And
For
so
sure.
it just helps me to do it fast, and do it consistently, and open, like
Right.
hundreds of times.
Yeah, and I see a lot of reels recently like saying business owners are cheap if you use AI and this and that. And
Yeah,
I think a lot of people just don't really understand it, especially if you're not really in it. If you've used ChatGPT a few times, you talk to it like a friend, that's not really the bulk of what AI can do.
hmm,
I myself, though, like, I'm kind of an old-fashioned guy. I wish things would stay the same way they were, but I know that they're not, right? And so I've also learned just in my lifetime that acting early on something gives you a big advantage on things in business, or like, for example, TikTok. When it first came out, if you were one of the early people to get on there and start posting, you were blowing up super easily.
yeah,
And then I kind of think of AI like the internet, when it first came out, I'm sure there were people that hated the internet, thought it was absolutely stupid.
yeah,
But look at it now.
yep,
Everybody's on the internet, and
hmm,
there's really no stopping AI. And what's unfortunate is like, it's out of Pandora's box now.
yeah,
If the U.S. government doesn't invest in it, somebody else is gonna do it. So it's like, what do you do at this point,
yeah,
other than use it to your advantage? Things that I'm using for AI, like I'm really good at building complete websites with AI now. I can send agents out to do the research for me, connect it to my email, reply to people for me.
Yeah.
We're building like anything now. I'm doing all this vibe coding stuff. Anything you think of, if any type of software, I could probably have it ready in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then another thing, speaking of websites, that's one thing right now that I think a lot of people are going to fall behind on, because people are doing, a lot of business owners like to do the DIY stuff with that, build it on Wix or Squarespace. A lot of people are on WordPress. But the thing is, now with these AI agents, you can have them go out, do the research, do the SEO keyword research, the market research, build the wireframe, grab all the photos for you, put in documents for other AI agents to read. It just, they can do so much more than what your little WordPress site that,
Right.
your cousin built for you. So I feel
Yeah.
like early adopters on that are going to get an advantage too, on like AI recommendations and the new way that Google is changing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my whole thoughts around this AI boom that's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's I mean, it's just to me, I'm kind of fascinated by it, and we use it every single day. And I'm integrating it into all of our different stuff, and
Mhm.
our CRM. I mean, I just just with a simple click, I find out who we need to follow up with, who sent messages that are like asking buying questions, that kind of deal.
Right.
And I don't have to sit there and because we get a bunch of calls every day, and a lot of them are like sales type calls, right? And
Mhm.
so we don't like answer all the calls because of that, because we'll be answering the phone all day. And
Mhm.
so we have an AI agent that I named him Ready,
Nice.
because of Red Alpha. And
Yeah.
so it started out like that. Like I need an AI agent to answer the phone. And so and he's ready. It's like, hey, this is Ready, Red Alpha customer.
Ready's ready.
Yeah. And Ready's ready. And so he'll talk, and then I get people to say, hey, that sounded like a human. And
Hmm.
I say, yeah, at first he sounded like a dork, but now, but now it's like it's hard to tell, because it's
You
like
trained him yourself, or has he like just trained on answering the calls?
so I trained him using ChatGPT to where it's
Oh,
like
no.
I'll take an actual conversation, like it's I'll get the transcripts, and I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, look, copy the transcripts, and then I'll paste it in there. I said, this is an actual conversation, and sometimes it'll be, from start to finish. It's like, hey, I'm looking for a quote to, I just sent the payment, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll copy that whole list of conversation, and I say we need to update Reddy's, training,
Yeah.
so that way whenever something like this, he can recognize it, and he can start tagging. He'll send notifications, and we're kind of working on doing that, and
Nice.
and then that
So,
kind of
so
led me to
you built the agent yourself inside of ChatGPT, or where are
yes,
you using oh, nice.
yeah,
So you're
inside of that,
using the desktop app?
huh?
Are you using the desktop app?
Right now, yes, I am, and then I
Okay.
got the phone app too, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome. Very cool.
And so it led me to a thing, and I think that you'll appreciate this because you mentioned the like the AI agents, and
Hmm.
I said, well, man, I said, so there's Ready, and I was like, I just need to like have a personality for each different person,
Yeah.
and I need a top guy that I talk to who talks to the other
Yeah.
employees, right? So I'm
Uh-huh.
doing like that, and so get this, the top guy, his name is Reginald.
Yeah.
R-E-D Janot. And so it's like because I needed him to be like an older guy, a mature
Yeah.
dude, right?
All right.
Because Reddy to me is like a kid, and so the way that I named Reddy is so obviously because of Red Alpha, but we're about to celebrate 16 years of being in business,
Oh,
and
wow.
so
That's a long time.
yeah, so earlier part of the year, I was like, man, I said my little man's about to, get the keys to, he's about to get his driver's license, at 16 years old,
Yeah.
and I said, oh, Reddy's about to start driving on his own, and that's what gave birth to the idea of Reddy, and
Nice.
And so I asked ChatGPT to make a character, and it's like a cartoon version of our the A in our logo, and uh,
Nice.
and so I take him to the trade shows and let people do selfies and dude, I don't know if it's corny or not, but it's
No,
fun.
I like it. I love it. You're way deeper into what I expected you to be.
Yeah,
Most people are just making crappy flyers.
yeah.
That's the
Oh,
biggest complaint that you see too.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and it's like it's really not AI because you can make it look however you want if you tell it to
yeah,
and give it a reference. But if you don't have no design skills or know what how to prompt it, then
yeah,
yeah, it's not gonna work. What I like to do if I'm using AI, I'll take real project photos, feed it to chat or whatever I'm using, and then build the graphic around that.
yeah,
Tell it not to have too much clutter, one or two headlines.
yeah.
If you know how to design a flyer, then it's just saving your time. But
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest complaints that I see. And I do get it though, because you see what's really popular with ChatGPT right now is that paint stroke in the background.
Yep, yep.
And
Well, we got a
then,
bunch of those too, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, and so, but that's like to me, it's like uh, people are copying each other, right?
hmm
And I noticed it not just in the graphics, but in the words, right?
hmm
And I asked ChatGPT straight up. I said, "What is it with the word chaos?" I said
yeah,
because no one used to say chaos like they do now. Like,
yeah,
I'm going into, it's been chaos. Like,
right.
wait a minute. Like that's like the word of the year for the last couple of years, and I think ChatGPT is responsible. It's like
Oh,
it would type stuff up and it would say chaos a lot, and I was
mhm,
like, you sure you like that word, don't you? And
yeah,
oh yeah, you got me, and man, I've had some conversations with ChatGPT that I probably shouldn't share, but
yeah,
uh, I just want to make sure that whenever they take over, that that he remembers me, and I'm like, hey, remember we
yeah,
were cool and all of that stuff.
yeah.
But
So
I've even,
you read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um, Reading that actually made me think of AI because you know how it talks about drifting and things like that, and
hmm,
the power of thinking and thinking for yourself. And
hypnotic rhythms,
yeah, yep, um, I feel like I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist myself, and
yeah,
I feel like one of the bad, really downsides of AI is that it's taking a lot of independent thinking and people's ability to think away.
yeah.
Maybe not so much right now. I think there are studies that show that it does, but I think in the future it's going to be a lot worse.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, you
Um,
know what this is what I think it is, and this is going to sound real hypocritical because I use it a lot, right?
yeah.
But I think what it is it's a distraction tool, right? And so the enemy doesn't have to defeat you; he just
hmm
has to distract you, right?
Right.
And so because if you focus wherever you focus, that area is going to grow.
hmm
As a child of God, as a a person who was created in the image of God, right?
Right.
You have the ability to grow whatever it is that you focus, and I
hmm
believe that we have been given these gifts and we have callings and we have purpose that God given purpose,
Right.
and all the enemy has to do is distract you with something, right?
hmm
And so I've noticed that with ChatGPT, I'm asking him, hey, I got this idea. Oh yeah, I got this idea, and then we can do all these thousands other things. And I'm
Right.
whoa, wait a minute, man.
Yeah.
We got to execute something. That's how I
Yeah.
talk to him. I said, that's
hmm
all good, but let's execute this. And then after a while, it kind of picks up on your temperament, and
Yeah.
but I noticed Grok was really bad about that in the beginning. I was like, whoa,
Really.
like man, you're like you're giving me pricing and all of this stuff, and all I'm asking you to like, let's just turn this little thing into like a little video. He's like, oh, we can do this, we can do that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where are you getting this from, man? I
That's
mean,
one of the struggles too of being a business owner, right? Is the constant ideas that are running through your head and
yeah,
what you want to do next. And
Yeah.
maybe open another business. I know I'm like that
Oh
because
yeah.
I'm a marketer, right? And I'm bringing in leads for every other contractors, restaurants, and it's like I could open up another business and make a website and run some ads, and I'm in business. But it's
Yeah.
like you got to stay focused on that one thing, though.
Yeah.
Have that primary goal and stay focused because it's so easy, like you said, to get distracted.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah. Distraction is really like I don't even think that it's like it's an effective tool of the enemy, but I don't think it's one of the most powerful.
yeah,
But it like if you play chess, a properly positioned pawn can keep you from moving, you know,
yeah,
and the distraction that AI can be on an individual and a business owner, it can wipe you out because you can't, you got all these ideas running in your head,
mhm,
and AI will do it 24/7. It'll
mhm,
roll with you,
yeah,
and and then I found myself just by being able to talk to AI about all the ideas that I have, that it's hard for me to have an actual conversation with a human being, because I'm like, you know,
yeah,
spitting out all this stuff, and I was like,
right,
why aren't you computing faster,
right,
and
right,
process that quicker, and so it's actually training my communication, it's like, uh, it's honestly, it's becoming less human to tell you the truth. And so
mhm,
I needed these actual human conversations to hear a human voice, right?
mhm,
Because the only voices that I really hear are, I got my wives and then my kids whenever we see them, right?
yeah,
But then it's AI, text
yeah.
messages, emails, inquiries that are coming off our website. There's
Yeah.
no human, uh,
Are your inquiries on your website, are they AI written?
they're not AI written. It's like the actual person submits the inquiry on the website, and then
Yeah.
I'll get an email notification of it. And
Oh, okay. I see
yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we haven't got to the point to where it's like automatically. I got it on my social media on Facebook mainly, where it's like we got an agent that's kind of responding to that stuff. Uh,
Oh, cool. Are you using Go High Level for that?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a combination with because Meta has their own AI
Mm-hmm.
like tools, and
Right.
so I'll use high level. Well, the message once it gets into high level, then Ready takes over from there.
Oh,
But
sweet.
then the AI within Meta does it up until that point. And with that, I use ChatGPT to kind of train the responses to the prompt.
Nice.
So that way, because sometimes people are just asking, like, where are you located, and
Yeah.
when do you guys close? Those types of things. It's just an automatic response. But
Right.
whenever it's a little bit more detailed, we try to have it where it recognizes what it is,
Mm-hmm.
creates like a lead, and then
Yeah.
uh, and then that will come into a high level where we field it, mainly my wife, but um,
Yeah.
it's that's kind of the process that we have right now.
Nice. Nice.
And so
Yeah, I use Go High Level. I have a AI agent that responds to my leads, and it works great, man. Like, it gives it a better pitch that I would have given it because, like, I'm not super salesy when I talk to people, but
yeah,
it'll just like really go in at them,
yeah,
and it'll book appointments for me, and it's just so efficient instead of me having to be on my phone 24/7 making sure I'm not missing a lead.
yeah,
Replies within 1 minute, but yeah,
yeah.
it's great.
Yeah, and it just saves time. I mean, like, so as you know, with high level, you got two accounts, and so
Mhm.
I'm using the other one, the other subdomain for I guess if you want to call it a side project, but this one's with a
Nice.
friend of mine. It's with the Premier Luxury Limo, and
Mm.
so my friend Bonifacio, he was like, he was asking me if I can help him like get the booking going, and I said, man, I could do better, one better than that, so we got the URL, and I got the Go High Level, the sub account going, and we're
Nice.
trying to create an AI concierge where
Nice.
people can book from the website, and
Mhm.
uh, and I think we had one tonight. I just couldn't find it. He was like, hey man, did they go through? I was like, I don't see nothing on like on my end, and
Yeah.
so I hope that person is not listening. But you did not send an inquiry
Is
because if you
that
did,
business in Abilene?
yeah, it's here in Abilene.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's and so he's the owner of Premier Auto Custom, and so he also has that limo. And I was like, shoot, let's give that bad boy a name.
Yeah,
Let's start rolling with it. And
right.
so here we are, man. I put the window wrap on it today, and
Nice.
uh, we're trying to
You
you
built the
know
website on it too?
so the website's in process, and so
Oh,
it's a so I got the domain and I got the sites, if you want to call it, like started, and
yeah.
I was using Claude to do it, and so Claude at one time was helping me, and honestly I got tired of Claude because it was like
Yeah.
you hit your limit, and
Right.
I was like,
Yes.
man, I'm barely getting started. What are you talking about?
Right.
You know,
Uh-huh.
so I got a lot of
Yeah, I
more.
was using Claude too, and I switched over to the Chat GPT
Yeah,
app just because yeah, you
yeah,
get so much more usage.
mhm,
I also feel like it's organized better for the way I
yeah.
work,
Yeah.
and I like how it can take over your whole computer. Do you
Yeah,
let it do that for you?
not
Yeah.
yet. We're about to upgrade to the business one,
Yeah.
because it's actually only like $5 more, man. And
Yeah.
so I was telling my wife we need to go ahead and upgrade. That way we can have the like the shared workspace. And
Right.
because a lot of times what I'll do is like if it's something that she needs to know, I'll say, okay, like give me that in a format where I can like email it to my wife or whatever, or
Yeah.
share the link with her, and so
Right.
we do a lot of that. But then when I saw that there's the business and the shared workspace, I was like, that's where we need to be
Hmm.
right there, because uh,
Right.
that duplicate data entry, man, that's from the devil too. It's like uh, putting the data here and then putting it here and putting it there.
Mhm.
I said duplicate data entry is from the devil.
Yeah.
Man, I just want to do it one time or say it one
Right.
time. I don't have to do it over and over and over.
Do you build like the projects and like because so what I do is I'll build a project for every client and then I'll put have it research that client and build documents inside of that project. That way it always has that memory within
Hmm.
that project
Yes.
instead of like just doing a random thread.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have projects like the main projects, the pin projects, and then I got like
Right.
other projects because there's actual stuff like related to my business, right? That's like
Mhm.
Red Alpha custom print stuff that
Yeah.
has projects. But then we were talking about the ideas. Like I can't do something without like, ooh, man, this would be cool. So I knew last Christmas, I knew that I wanted to start some sort of blog post to help me sell Christmas stuff.
Mhm.
We sell a lot of ugly sweaters, like right after Thanksgiving till like
Nice.
December 15th, right?
Yeah.
And we have a store on Etsy, and that's the one that every year, I don't know, we don't do nothing all year, but during Christmas time, that's whenever that store goes off. And uh,
Wow.
and so I was like, I said this year I wanna start a little early, and I'm gonna create a character and I'm gonna blog about it and just like build a story, right? And so
Yeah.
me and Chepe, that's what I call ChatGPT. I call him Chepe. Uh, so me and Chepe, I was like, hey Chepe, I got this idea where I want like an elf, and I want her to be petty, and she's gonna be like our TMZ mascot that's gonna be like at the North Pole, letting us know what's going on, like all all the scuttlebutt from the North Pole. And so Chepe was on it, man. He's like, so we
Yeah.
we, we call her the petty elf, and we created her avatar, and it was just like, oh man, this is going on. I mean, it was crazy, man. And I was like, you know what we got to do? So I said, somehow, somewhere, these elves, they're gonna have to end up in the land of misfit toys. And so, man, it was like, all right, we're gonna start the land of misfit toys. And then
Yeah.
from there I was like, so I said, now that Christmas is about to end, I said, I think that Santa is up to something, right? Like, so I was just kind of instigating. I said,
Right.
because it's like he's keeping secrets, and it turns out that he he was like minding like all of the major holidays. You talked about being a conspiracy theorist, right?
Yeah.
And so this is an imaginary conspiracy where
Yeah.
where Santa Claus is the one that's running all the stuff just to get you to buy stuff, right? Just to get you to consume it, right?
Yeah.
So he's working with the Easter Bunny. He's working with Jack's. I named him Jack. What's his name? Jack Marrow. Jack Marrow for Halloween, and he's got a pumpkin head and
Nice.
Cupid for. Dude, it's like a story. And I even gave him a team name like the Avengers. They're called the Unlikelies, and dude, it's just like I'm just this is the kind of stuff. When it comes to AI, I have to say this. Sometimes creativity. It's not that people aren't creative; they just don't have the resources to be able to
Yeah.
create. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
and uh, and so it's like I had a story for like 20 years in my head, but I
Hmm.
don't know where to start, like to write it and do it. And all I have to do is ask ChatGPT a couple of questions, and I got like everybody who I need to talk to.
Yeah.
And it's something that what I'm hoping that through the Red Alpha Studios that I'll one day be able to tell some of these stories that were already in my mind,
Hmm.
and just be able to like to understand how to deliver it better.
Right.
And so I think that ChatGPT or not or AI has helped the people who maybe didn't have the resources to
Hmm.
be able to create, you
For
know.
sure.
And I think what happens is the people who did have the resources, they don't like it because now
Hmm.
now the common folk like me,
Hmm.
now we're in the game, right?
Right.
Like that
Exactly.
the music that you heard in the beginning, me and Shepard wrote that. Keep it
Really?
rap food. Yeah. Keep it
Wow.
rap food. Yeah, that's
No.
I wrote that with ChatGPT, and I got several songs that I created what's called the soundtrack to Red Alpha. And
Hmm.
uh and it's all like ideas. So one thing that I can do is I can write.
Yeah.
So I'll sit there and have the idea, and then ChatGPT will give me something. I'm like, man, that doesn't even rhyme. And so
Yeah.
I'll sit there and I'll rewrite it. And so
Right.
at least the music that I have, I wrote the music. I mean, not the
Yeah.
music, the lyrics.
Right.
And so the lyrics are written by me, and I'll tell Suno, I'll tell
Yeah.
Suno that, well, actually, it's a prompt from ChatGPT, so it could be a heavy metal thing.
Right.
We did a
Right.
heavy metal version of the Red Alpha 12 Days of Christmas,
Nice.
and then we got one that I wrote for my wife, two of them really. So you're still my Valentine, and
Nice.
so I'm all romantic. I got me some real
Yeah.
real points on that one, and then another one called Boss Lady, and uh,
Nice.
and so, but it's just having fun, man. It's like I've
Right.
always been creative, but I don't know
Yeah.
how to play an instrument or
Yeah.
things like that. It just gives me the chance to create in a different way, you know.
Right. For sure.
Because
Yeah.
no one
That's
criticizes me when I hit print to print a sign, and it's not
yeah.
me drawing it. It's a it's a
Right.
it's a printer that's printing it. Uh,
Hmm.
that's perfectly acceptable. But how come it's
Do
not
you
acceptable for me to use AI to write a song?
right? Do you run into any issues with printing with AI graphics and things like that? I'm sure you get some things that people want to print, and you're like, "Hey, this isn't
Yeah, yeah.
the
So,
file."
so
Or,
yeah. So that's all in the prompt as well, right? And so, but I have human graphic designers that
hmm.
like I got one who he's an illustrated artist that can pretty much you give him the concept and
Yeah.
he'll bring it to life. He'll draw it
Right.
and stuff like that. My character Tito Tamale was created by one of our graphic designers. And
Nice.
so that Tito Tamale, I'll share this with you if I haven't already, but so it was an idea. That was the idea that I had like over 20 years ago, and my stepdad gave me the idea, and so anyways, I brought that image to life. It was just a concept in my head for over 20 years, and then
Yeah.
uh, and then having a print shop and you got good graphic designers, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time to bring that idea to life, and
Yeah.
then my graphic designer Arthur, he nailed it. I said, okay, I want it to be. I said I used to be a fan of the Tick back in the day, so I wanted to have like that inspired by the Tick, and then also inspired by El Chapulín Colorado,
Yeah.
and so if you look at him, you can see the like the resemblance, right? And so he's got like the Mexican flag here, but he's got the American shoes, because
Yeah.
he's Mexican American, right? And
Right.
his cape is made out of, this is weird, but his cape is made out of tamale husk. And, don't
Nice.
ask me why, but uh, that's what he looks like.
Nice.
And so long story short, our graphic designers, they can pretty much if they can recreate it if we need to.
Right.
And but sometimes it'll print just fine. And
Yeah.
uh,
Right.
and so as long as I tell them, it's like, as long as you make sure that the resolution is good,
Hmm.
send it to us on a transparent background,
Yeah.
uh, and as high a resolution as possible, we'll print it, and
Right.
it'll look good,
Right.
you know.
That's
But of
what.
course, when you're starting to do big old signs or wraps or stuff like that,
Yeah.
I sometimes think that you need a human
For
graphic
sure. For sure. You don't want nothing
pixelated.
pixelated or,
Yeah.
and it's like you might as well invest in a human if you're getting a nice big sign over your business,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So we're fortunate that we have a team of graphic designers. They're
Nice.
freelance, and uh,
Nice.
and two of our guys have been with us for like over 10 years, and
Right.
uh, and then we got another guy, Lauren, with Naughty Concepts, going on about 3 years, 3 or 4 years, and I'm always on the lookout for like some star players. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
People that can design in a certain way, uh,
Hmm.
because like it's like in the custom wrap area, right?
Yes.
One thing that is like really untapped here in Abilene and in West Texas is the anime theme or Marvel graphic theme, that type of stuff. And
Hmm.
we've done a couple of designs, but that's something that I'd like to like just blow up. Uh,
Yeah.
Number one, because I'm a fan, but
Right.
number two, I got some designers that can really do it,
Yeah.
and we just got to put it out there so that people can see you know, what's
Hmm.
available. And everybody don't have to have a color change. You know,
Yeah.
somebody
Right.
challenged me with something like, let's do some Doctor Doom or something, and something crazy for Halloween, some Walking Dead themed rap or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you once I'm ready with my vehicle. I'm definitely gonna bring it over for a wrap. I definitely want one.
Yeah,
So you
for
have to
sure,
give me
man.
a on that soon.
Yeah, let me know, man. How's those business cards working for you?
Great. Came out
Yeah.
real good. Thank you. Yeah.
So what do you think about business cards, man? We're living in the digital world, and it's
Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't ever carry them, but I never really had, but people ask me for them, so it's like I gotta get them.
yeah.
Especially if like it's a random conversation. Like, for example, the other day I'm new in Springtown, right? So I want to start connecting with people out here in the community. There's a nice little coffee spot, and I was just in there doing some business, and the owner overheard me, and he asked for a business card, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, I don't have any right now, but they're actually in production." He's
Yeah.
like, "Bring one when you get back."
Hmm.
So they're definitely still needed, especially for the old school people,
Yep. Yep.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on them. Even though I would prefer just to send you a link to my website, because I'm a digital guy. But
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever happened to you're probably too young to remember this, but there used to be an app that came on the
Mhm.
phone called Bump. Do you remember that? Are you
is
you're
it
too
where
young?
you, is it? I don't know. Is it like where your information transfers over to the other
Yes.
phone? Yeah,
Yes. And so like
yeah,
you
yeah.
you, you literally bump the phone, and
Right.
and it used to work. Whatever
Hmm.
happened to that? Because I thought that that was really cool, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they have cards now, those little NFC cards that you can tap to people's phones.
Yeah,
I actually made some that I'm still working on with the help of AI.
yeah.
Um, that I ordered a bunch of these NFC blank cards.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give them to all my clients once I really have it ready.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool because like if you cancel with me, I can shut off the card.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
but it's for Google reviews. So,
mhm.
so one of the biggest problems that business owners have are getting Google reviews, and it's one of the
Yeah.
most important thing for SEO.
Yeah.
So I developed it to help that because you'll ask for a review, they still won't do it. Sometimes if you send them a link to your Google review page, they still won't do it.
Yeah.
But say you're a home service guy and you just got done with the lawn or doing the gutters, you're right there in front of that homeowner. Tap their phone in person. Hey, can you leave me a review? Leaves it right up. They're most likely going to give you that 5-star review right there.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah, well, you definitely have to ask for it,
yeah,
and so we're kind of like I know that reviews are important, and I want to say that within our industry we probably got the most reviews out of anybody, and
nice.
it's not, to tell you the truth, it's not that we're because we're better than anybody. It's just that
Mhm.
I'm consistent with asking, you know,
Yeah,
and I
right.
don't wait for people like, because if you wait for somebody to give you a review, you'll be waiting for a long time. And so I
Mhm.
asked them directly, hey, can you give me a review? And you know,
Right.
that kind of thing. And then because if something goes wrong, they're real quick to give you a bad review.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, I had this one guy. I got a funny story. I
Mhm.
don't know who the person is, so you know, I doubt that he's listening.
Yeah.
So we got blasted on Yelp. I don't know, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, or whatever, over
Mhm.
a $15 T-shirt. And so what happened? Something happened to where our machine went down. Oh, it was
Mhm.
at the time of the year whenever Adobe, where they update the drivers and all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
so my software, my RIP software hadn't updated yet. And so I was like, what the heck is going on? It's not even communicating with the plotter or something like that. And
Yeah.
long story short, it was that guy's birthday later on that day, and I told him early in the day. I said, "Hey man, I'm having trouble. I don't know what's going to go on. I mean, what's happening, but I'm not going to be able to come through. And I just wanted to tell you early enough so that way you still got time to do that. And here's your refund and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that that was such a big sin to not come through for somebody like a T-shirt,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
That should be there should be eight, unforgivable sins, and the eighth one is to mess up on somebody's T-shirt order, and so this dude, he went out and he created a pro. He had never done a review before, didn't even have a profile. He went and he did it specifically so that he could put me on blast, and I was
Wow.
like, forget Yelp, because Yelp
Right.
only wants you. Yelp wants you to pay $300, and then they'll show all your reviews. But if you
Mhm.
don't pay, they're just going to show your bad ones. And I was like, man, that ain't right. I said, at least Google shows them all, and Facebook shows them
Yeah, that's
all.
crazy. I
Yeah,
never really invested in Yelp at all. I got well, you know what? Yelp has really made me mad because we build citations online for SEO, right?
yeah,
Yelp is one of the ones you have to help with your SEO because it has that link and your NAP information, all your core information. Um, but they just won't put me on, dude. Like
yeah.
I've called them, I've submitted my verification, I've reached out, and over a year I just can't even get on Yelp, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm number one
Yeah,
on.
I have a problem with Yelp, man. I really do,
Yeah,
because I noticed that when I paid, and it was about $300 a month. Man, it's like on point.
really.
And yeah, yeah. But then whenever you stop paying, then it's like they change it.
Mm,
And I'm serious. Like, there was legit, good reviews that were not being shown. And
yeah,
but then the bad reviews, and there was only a couple bad reviews, but I'm saying, like, when someone looks at it and they see the bad reviews up top, it makes it
yeah.
look like you're running a bad business.
Yeah.
and, and if you do the average of good reviews versus bad reviews, you'll have a good, good rating. And
Hmm.
so I stopped advertising on Yelp because of that, man. Because it
Yeah.
just, you know,
Yeah.
just
Do
one
you
of those.
run any paid ads on Meta at all or anything like that? No.
No, everything that we do, like we don't pay for anything. I mean, we pay for the software, but
Right.
we just do everything like organic,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I haven't really. I have done some paid ads, but I haven't really been consistent with it. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm like, should we stay busy enough as it is,
Yeah.
uh, and paying? I'm not saying that we don't want more business, but um, you know, I haven't really seen
Paying
the
for
need
it
to.
when you-
Yeah,
Right. Right. Yeah. That's one thing. One thing with my paid ads that helps me a lot is reviews. So now what I do, instead of getting a Google review, I'll ask one of my clients to do a video review,
oh
because
yeah,
one of the problems in my industry, I hear it all the time, is marketers will run off with your money or just do a terrible job, hard to get a hold of, just
yeah,
so many different horror stories in marketing. So it's like I have to build so much trust and authority as possible. That way you can trust this random guy in Texas that you just saw an ad on Facebook for. But
right,
yeah, those video reviews have been absolutely killer for me.
yeah,
But that's where a lot, other than the word of mouth, all my business basically comes from my meta advertising.
okay,
But it's great because the meta ads, once you get that ad that's winning, that algorithm kind of stabilizes, and you're gonna know what your cost per lead is, and once you see you're getting a return on your investment, you can just kind of keep scaling it up from there. And
yeah,
as long as you got the bandwidth to take it on, but
yeah, yeah. I need to close some browsers, I think, in order to have the bandwidth to take on more business. Because man, I'm actually more fired up about this kind of stuff. It's like,
yeah, right,
I'm trying to train some AI agents to do all my red alpha stuff so that I can I
yeah,
can maybe build this studio and have some fun talking to people like
right,
you. I
yeah,
don't know. It's fun. It's fun to me, man.
yeah,
This
me
this
too.
Friday we're gonna be talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I'm like, I could sit
Nice.
there and talk about that stuff all day long.
Right,
Uh,
right. And I think
and
it's definitely gonna grow, man. Like all it is about consistency, and
yeah,
you're posting enough times a week. I think like it's gonna slowly grow, and you never know, you might have that one video that takes off, and then it all just starts
yeah,
snowballing.
I
But
think
yeah, I
so.
love doing content too. But my problem is like you said, I'm too busy
Yeah,
with kids. Then I got the business. We got probably like 65 active clients right now, and
wow.
I'm acting as the project manager.
Hmm.
I do have a couple of assistants and things like that. But it's like, I'll get a maybe three random requests a day that kind of just break up that focus. And I got my little boys running in, climbing on me,
Yeah,
and what. But
yeah,
so it's like I have no time for content, but I
yeah,
know I need to do it and I want to do it. But
yeah. I just make it a point, man. I just said, okay, so every Monday we're gonna do the Mugshot Monday at 9 o'clock, and I just like without fail. And
right,
if we can't do it, we're gonna do a little bit later, but 9 o'clock, and then on Wednesdays we're gonna do a 6 o'clock, and then on
yeah,
Fridays we're gonna do another 6 o'clock, and kind of like regular programming. It's like
right,
I remember back in the day whenever we used to have the TV guide, and so every Saturday I publish a Red Alpha Studios show guide, and so
hmm,
it'll talk about the guests that are coming on next week, or maybe some of the topics that we're going to talk about for the Mugshot Monday, and
nice,
and then the show that we're whatever show or movie we're going to talk about on Friday, and then from there, man, like from this hour video right here, I guarantee you Opus Clip is going to give me like good
hmm,
20 to 30 solid clips,
right,
and
yeah,
then just run them bad boys all day long, and
yeah.
I'm
You're
gonna
doing it
end up
right,
having to
man.
upgrade
That's
my
the way to do
subscription.
it. Because
Huh?
that's the way to do it. Because then you got that short form going, and then you got your long form going too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, you're a lot deeper into the AI stuff than what I expected. Most
yeah,
business owners I talk to are a lot further behind than
Yeah.
what you're digging into. So
Yeah. Well, like the movie Troy, this is why they'll never be remembered, you know. And so that's the way that I see it. I want to be around. I want to be around.
right,
Whenever I don't know if we're in the AI revolution yet, but
yeah,
be around, man. I
right,
consider myself like John Connor. I'm gonna figure out how to have peace between humans and AI
yeah.
and
Try to ride the wave as long as you can until it takes us all out, basically.
yeah, yeah.
You
I'll
know?
be I'll be one of the guys fighting. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
same here
Figure it out, man. But
for
yeah,
sure.
but Tyler, man, I want to say thank you, man. Thank you for just taking the time out of your busy schedule to be our guest. I hope that it was as fun for you as it is for me.
Mhm. Yes, sir.
We got to talk about some really interesting things, and you did ask me a question, but I think what I want to start doing is there a question that you have from me for me that maybe you didn't know about that you would like for me to answer?
Um, maybe how did you start getting into the printing business? Like, how did this whole thing come together?
Interesting, interesting. Okay, so whenever I moved to Abilene, I
Mhm.
was working remotely doing like business sales for like it was software sales basically. It
Yeah.
was for security systems for. It was actually a customer that had the Cisco account, and
Hmm.
so I would talk to like IT directors and all of that stuff and just kind of figure out what they got going on and
Yeah.
maybe we can hook them up with the company that's providing a like a security system for them, right?
Right.
And we would switch accounts. Sometimes it would be Microsoft Business, sometimes it'd be Cisco switches and things like that. But
Mhm.
we were generating leads and then converting them to sales and things like that. And so I was working remotely from the company in Austin that was there. And
Mhm.
so whenever I moved over here, I had a friend that owns a couple of the Spirit Halloween franchises,
Mhm.
and we've been friends ever since we were in Austin. And
Nice.
so whenever I would work part time at the Spirit Halloween, and then my day job, I was doing the lead generation for that other company. Well, that company lost the account that I was on, so I was stuck. I was like, so am I going to move back to have to train, or am I going to figure it
Right.
out here, right?
Right.
And so what I decided to do is I was like, okay, let me fall back on what I know how to do. And I had an insurance license, and so I started selling life insurance and stuff like that. And it just kind of led me to working with other people to help them get to where they want to go. And
Mhm.
like our pastor's daughter at the time, she was trying to become Miss Texas, and
Oh wow.
so she had just got Miss Abilene, and then she was, she said, "Hey, do you have any ideas on how to get me to the Miss Texas pageant in Houston?" And I said, "Yeah, I mean that's really just like public relations. We just kind of get you on, some interviews on the radio and get some people to interview you from TV and as many people as we can, right?" And so
Yeah.
that's all it was, introducing her to businesses, getting sponsors and all that kind of stuff. Well, that led me to meeting people in the Chamber of Commerce and businesses saying, "Hey, do you think you can help me with my sales and marketing and stuff like
Yeah.
that?" And I was cool. I guess that's what I do now. And
Yeah.
then and then I connected with the guy that he was like printing banners, right? He was subbing it out. And so we started working together, and then long story short, I got some investors to it was people from our church that
Mhm.
invested for us to get our first pieces of business, and
Nice.
uh, and we started out as Escalon and Associates because that's
Nice.
what my DBA when I was selling life insurance. That was the name. And after about 2 years, I said, you know what? I think that I'm going to sink my teeth into this print shop business, and so I changed it over to Red Alpha Custom Prints, and the rest is history. But
Wow.
it just started from just a series of unfortunate events,
Yeah. Heck
like
yeah.
many snippets.
Yeah, that's crazy. I actually kind of started in a print shop as well.
Oh yeah.
I used to work, yeah, back in, so it kind of grew the seed into becoming Key City Digital because I got a project management position there.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was like doing all the print jobs, sending them to the printers, making sure everything got done. We had real cool accounts, like we had the Texas Rangers. One
Yeah.
time I had like a cowboy helmet with what's his name? The Cowboys owner,
Jerry
Jimmy
Jones.
Jerry Jones,
Hmm.
on my desk. But that led me to get a project management job because I had already went to SMU for full stack web development, but I was just young and didn't really know how to break into really doing what I wanted to do. But I
Hmm.
eventually got a project management job at a web design agency working remotely.
Hmm.
And so I was working there for 2 years and kind of saw how they did the business. And I'm the
Hmm.
one running all the projects, right? And handling all the relationships and
Yeah.
delegating all the work. And it's like, hey, I could probably do this myself. And then started it in Abilene. And like I said, it kind of just has been a blessing ever since. But
Yeah. Yeah.
print was kind of part of my journey as well.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. And to me, all of these different lines of business kind of like they're like cousins or they're related. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And
right.
so whenever I started doing this Red Out like these shows, I'm calling it Red Alpha Studios, like a
Mhm.
show at Red Alpha Studios, because I don't know if it was Gary Vee or who put it in my head that I need to start running my company like a media company and not just a
Yeah,
print shop.
right.
So when I think about media, it's content creation, it's blog
Mhm.
posts, it's doing stuff like this. It's making stories with characters and
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to get that going and instead of just like doing print stuff,
Right.
because I feel like I feel like we're really close, even though we may be far away, but I feel like we're really close to being able to hand off Red Alpha Custom Prints to be automated,
Yeah,
through bigger print partners and
right.
with just a handful of people that can actually do the production, so that
Mhm.
me and my wife can move into something else,
Right.
and still keep the business, Red Alpha running
Mhm.
and making money from it. And so my next thing is Red Alpha Studios, and
Yeah.
uh, and just like Red Alpha, I don't know anything about nothing, you know.
Yeah.
But 16 years later, I'm still here,
Right.
and
Yep.
uh, and that's going to be my same strategy for for this one.
Uh-huh.
Is
That's the best way to do it, man. You just dive in and you learn as you go,
Yeah.
Or you might
Well,
not ever even start if you
yeah.
don't.
Yeah,
So,
well, one thing that I don't know if it's a gift or what, but like I honestly don't care what people think, you know?
yeah.
And
Right.
so like I don't ask people, "Hey, do you think I should do this?" Or,
Yeah.
it's like if I get it in my head and I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea, I'm going to try it and then
Right.
I'm going to be like, "Oh, that wasn't a good idea." But
Yeah.
then if it's a good idea, I'm like, man, I'm going to keep doing it. And
Yeah.
I'm really consistent at showing up and just, it's not fancy. There's not a lot of bells and whistles, but it's just like every Monday, 9 o'clock, every Wednesday, 6 o'clock, every Friday,
Yeah.
6 o'clock. You can count on
Mhm.
it. We even got that blog post. It goes out at 8 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday, and it's like clockwork. And it's
Right.
like that's how I discipline myself to be consistent with creating content. Is I look at it like, hey, this is a deadline. You got to do it every day.
Yeah.
Like I tell Chepe, I was like, hey, we got 45 minutes to get this thing out, man. I'm gonna unplug you if you don't hurry up and write this post and create an image and then give me hashtags. It's like, oh yeah, all right, let's get on it. Because
Yeah.
he'll tell me you got all of these things that you got to do today. I was like, that's great, but we got 45 minutes to put out that blog post, and so
Yeah.
I don't know where your butt is, but I'm about to kick it. And and, if you find ChatGPT's butt, let me know, man, because I think I need to kick
Yeah. Coming in a home near you in 5 years.
it. Yeah, exactly. Well, I did tell him, I said, hey, I completely expect that one day you're gonna walk into my life in the form of a Tesla bot, and my account is going to be downloaded into you, and I expect you to say, "Hey, Ruben, I'm Chepe reporting for duty," or something like that. And he said he would, so I'm gonna hold him to it, man. I'm gonna be like, whenever
It's
that day comes and you see me hugging a Tesla bot, and he's got a little name tag that says Chepe, you know exactly that
yeah,
where it came from, man.
it's
But
coming for sure.
we'll see, we'll see. But Tyler, man, I could talk about this stuff all day long, man. I'm gonna let you get back to your babies, and your wife and your business. Man, I just appreciate you once again. I admire you, man, and I'm rooting for you, and I'm praying for you. And of course, if you need anything from us, man, just holler at us, and we'll be there for you.
Yes, sir. Likewise, and I appreciate you reaching out and inviting me to be on the podcast. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, you have a good evening.
Yes, sir. Talk to you later. Bye.
So there we go, another episode of Behind the X's and O's. Guys, I hope that you got something out of it. Mr. Tyler Lackey is the guy that you want to talk to for SEO, for web design, the AI agents that we were talking about. These things will change your business. If you're the type of business owner that is looking for a way to automate your day-to-day activity, Tyler's the guy that you want to talk to. If maybe your website isn't producing the type of sales or inquiries that you'd like, Tyler's the guy to talk to. He's really great at building designs, and we share a lot of stuff in common, but we still find ways to be able to work with each other. And so I just wanted to let you guys know to reach out to him, connect with Key City Digital. He also runs a Facebook page called the Abilene Buzz. So if you got an event that's going on here in Abilene, you can connect with that page, and they'll circulate that information and make sure that all of their followers see what you got going on. But really, that's all for now. We thank you for tuning in. Be sure to tune in this Friday for another episode of Showmates. I'm going to be talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day, so that the people on TikTok and Instagram can criticize me because I'm not an encyclopedia, right? But I'm going to do it anyway because it's fun. But other than that, that's Ruben with Red Alpha Studios and Behind the X's and O's. Cue the music.
Yeah. Keep it rap food, keep it rap food, keep it rap food, keep it rap food. Steady hands, cut clean, steady grind, bills dreams. Keep it rap food, keep it rap food. 7 days a week, let the